Welcome to Artist on Art this week. I'm your host, Nada Miljkovic. Very glad to be here today, September 4th, 2013. I have the lovely pleasure of speaking with local entrepreneur, interviewer, event coordinator, maker, Matthew Swinnerton. Matthew, thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm super glad to be here. I remember I was so nervous the first time I was here. Not that I'm not nervous now, but I feel a little better now.
You hit it so well, Matthew. I had no idea you were
it's
at
all
nervous the last time. You got a very good face.
Thanks.
Matthew Swinnerton is here to talk about his newest adventure, Event Santa Cruz. This is going to be, how often are you going to have these events?
It's once a month. It's the third Wednesday of every month.
All right, so we're going to have every month on the third Wednesday an Event Santa Cruz. The first one is happening next week, September 18th.
Correct.
At the Nickelodeon Theater there in downtown Santa Cruz, and it starts at 7 o'clock. Tell us, what is Event Santa Cruz, Matthew?
Basically, we talk about, or I guess we showcase thriving businesses in Santa Cruz. So, and not just the business itself, but the people behind them. I mean, I really want to know, like, what motivated these entrepreneurs, these doers, to actually do it, to actually start from an idea, to actually, come up with a plan and do it. That always fascinates me. So, we just want to find out the people behind these businesses.
And how are they going to be presented? Are they going to give presentations?
Yeah.
Are you going to talk with them?
So we have 6 to 7 speakers each time. They have 10 minutes, pretty hard on that, 10 minutes to discuss their business and themselves and so forth. But we want to make it more than just a speaker series, but we want to be engaging. We want to have, there's one person that's actually going to give modified flutes to everybody in the audience, and going to do a garage band kind of game with the audience. We're in a theater. So we actually have the screen.
So you're hoping for audience participation?
A lot of engagement. Yeah. No, we want them to, of course, come away motivated, but we want them to enjoy themselves while they're there, not just be entertained, but enjoy themselves.
So this is a monthly event that's going to showcase thriving Santa Cruz businesses and the people behind these thriving businesses here at Santa Cruz. And Matthew Swinnerton is a person well placed to do this very thing. You are a part of several other organizations, one of which is Techraising, a fabulous yearly event.
Now it's yearly, yes. Yeah.
I love Techraising, and I can't wait for the next one. We're hoping to have it in November.
Target date, November 15th. Yeah.
And Matthew Swinnerton does this with 2 other partners, Andrew Mueller and Margaret Rosas. And you all have done 3 now, is that correct?
We've actually done 4. 4. Yeah, 4.
Techraising.
Yeah, so this will be our 5th one.
Your 5th one.
Yeah.
And what happens is, this is like make your own business computer application, coming with an idea at the beginning of a weekend and walking away with some kind of prototype.
Yep, exactly. They start at 4 o'clock on Friday evening, and they pitch their ideas. They got to pitch. One person comes with the idea. They don't even have to be technically minded. Just they have an idea, and then at that point, after they pitch their ideas, teams start forming, and basically the whole weekend they work on that project. Some people even spend the night there, so it's a really great event. We enjoy it.
It's a great event, Techraising, and you also feed the participants.
Feed them very well.
And there are mentors.
Yeah.
And there are classes or workshops that are being given out during the whole weekend.
Yeah, so every event is a little different. So sometimes we have workshops. Sometimes we'll have like a keynote speaker. We had that on the first one. So everyone, we don't want to be stale. We want to keep, mix it up a little different. We try to have, like you mentioned, food. We have different local, food companies come and give us food, but we make it different every time. We want to make it interesting and enjoyable. We also have monthly events. Techraising, we have the big one.
There's tomorrow.
No, so that actually is the New Tech Meetup is today.
Oh,
yeah, that's today. Not us, but that's an awesome event. Yeah, I think tonight they're talking about the 25 years of innovation in tech in Santa Cruz.
And Andrew Mueller,
he's going to be on the panel.
And a panel.
Yeah.
He'll be talking.
Doug Erickson is the one that I think is the one that puts that on. He actually just came back. The New Tech Meetup is a great group. So that's tonight. I'm pretty sure it's at 6:30. You got to sign up at meetup.com for that. But that's a New Tech Meetup.
And if people are like, I want to know about these organization, these meetings, one really great place to do that is the Tech Meetup.
Actually, meetup.com.
Meetup.com.
Yeah, meetup.com is great to find out events. It's where people should
go, and then you type in Santa Cruz and you type in your interest, and it will help you find people that are like-minded and that are meeting and discussing and doing.
Guaranteed. There is, every week there's like one or two events.
And then the monthly tech raising is...
So what we do, we varied every time, but a lot of times, actually just recently, we've been doing more of where we have like a fireside chat where we have somebody. So we have Steve Blank. He's a serial entrepreneur, advisor, venture capitalist person. He's going to be there. I think it's September the 12th. We're having it at the MAW. So every month.
So that's next Thursday.
Yeah. Next
Thursday.
Thursday.
The MAW. Excellent.
Yeah, and we already have, I think it's like 85 people signed up already. So it's a pretty big group of people that come to this event. So we're looking forward to that.
And another organization that Matthew Swinnerton is in has created and maintains is Interrogation Hub. And interrogationhub.com is a website where you present interviews that you have done with entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Thriving ones, I'm guessing, not the ones... Well,
not always. To be honest, it's not always. Basically, I look for people that interest me. Yeah, and so you got a difference. And sometimes you have some people that are just starting out. And like to see how are they starting out? What's how's it going their first year or so? What's going on? And then I have some that I usually as my featured interviews that have done well and over the years. But I like to do the gamut because I like to see. It's interesting, and not just people that are doing well have interesting stories, but people that are I like to see that starting point of entrepreneurism. Right. So I definitely interview all. Yeah.
and you do this with audio?
No, actually, it's all done through
video.
Yeah, it's all video. It's all done through email.
Through email.
Yeah, I don't even. I send out 10 questions or so, and they email me back the answers. I like that. It's different because, well, interview like this is always going to be the best, to be honest, because you get real reactions. It's you get a real person.
Folks,
exactly.
We're live.
This always works, but it's easier for me for one to send out emails, but it gives them a little chance to think about their answer and come up with what they want to project. And they usually spend a couple months actually even working on their interviews.
Nice.
So it gives them a little bit of time. They're usually kind of long form interviews.
And then you have recently done somebody that is kind of famous that you would enjoy. Tell us about that person.
Again, I always like to do people that I'm interested in. So Pierre Willander, he was one of the biggest skaters in the 80s, freestyle skater. So not the vertical on half pipes, but you just sit in stand in a 6 foot by 6 foot area and do a bunch of tricks. There was one skater called Rodney Mullen, which was like the best skater of all time freestyle, and this guy Pierre Willander is the only one that ever beat him in a competition. So he got really famous, and he was in the Bones Brigade with Tony Hawk. Actually, he is a business partner with Tony Hawk on a lot of different projects.
Oh, he must. Yeah. I also have a very good friend who's in that group, Mickey Vučkovic, who I had on the radio. Also, was a longtime friend. Okay. They all got together when they were 14 and just stuck together.
It's amazing to see the pictures of these kids when they're
and to see how they figured out how to maintain their passion in their work, in their business.
Yeah.
For instance, Tony Hawk now has a foundation that is building skate parks all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's that thriving, the person that finds their passions and figures out a business model that allows them to pursue that passion and, in this case, make the world better for more kids to be able to skate.
Exactly. What I like about, just those people is it wasn't money focused. It wasn't about like making a business. I mean, if Tony Hawk, he made no money for years as a kid, and he was just skating. And he said he would have done this anyway. And a lot of those kind of skaters at that time, that's what they enjoyed doing. There was a time in the 80s where all the skaters, they lost all their sponsorships, they had no money, but they kept on doing it because they enjoyed it. He was one of them. And look where he is now.
Yeah.
You know, kept on doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, interrogationhub.com, you can go there and see the newest interview with Pierre Willender. And then techraising.com.
Yep, techraising.com.
If you want to find out, get in on the monthly meetings that are happening with Techraising, and then also the yearly wonderful event happening, hopefully this mid-November 2013. Usually they're happening at Cruz Building downtown.
It might be different this year.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to mix it up a little bit. And I think they're actually, you know, talk about a thriving business in Santa Cruz. They're almost full for even weekend, events.
That's great.
So, yeah. So we might find another location this year.
Wonderful. Now, back to the main event.
Yes.
The Event Santa Cruz, which is why Matthew Swinnerton came up to the UCSC wooded area for us to talk today. The inaugural night of Event Santa Cruz is happening September 13th, 2013 at 7 p.m. at the Nickelodeon Theater. If you'd like to find out more information, you can go to eventsantacruz.com. You can also go to Facebook /Event Santa Cruz if you're on Facebook, and you can get all the details about it. But what I'd like to do is just talk a little bit about your speakers, who you're going to be having this first time out. We've got, 7 people coming out.
Yes.
And Danny Keith.
Yes.
Tell us about Danny Keith.
Oh, I'm so glad. He was actually my first person that I asked to go on, and he said yes right away. It's funny. I've talked to a lot of people about what I'm doing with Event Santa Cruz, and they're like, "Is that sustainable? You know, can you have 6 or 7 speakers every month in Santa Cruz of businesses that are actually thriving?" And I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. I'm booked for the next 5 months.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah. So he was my first one. He's very community driven. He wants to help out the community. I think what he's doing with Grind Out Hunger is amazing. Actually, 10% of our ticket sales are going to go to Grind Out Hunger. And he's doing great with the Warriors. It's amazing thing they're bringing the Santa Cruz Warriors to Santa Cruz.
So he's the director of corporate sponsorships for Santa Cruz Warriors. I know him more as the Ground Out Hunger creator and continuing to work with teenagers and asking teens about solutions instead of just handing over the solutions to our younger folk.
Yes.
Danny Keith also spoke at TEDx Santa Cruz. He's a great speaker.
He is, yeah.
Margaret Rosas, queen of
Queen
tech.
Geek, yeah.
Queen Geek.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, everything tech in Santa Cruz, it all funnels through Margaret somehow. Yeah. I can't wait to hear her talk. I've heard a little bit about what she's going to talk about, but basically it's, okay, at this point of our time here in Santa Cruz, tech, in the tech ecosystem, where are we now and where are we going to see in the future the next 10 years? And she has a awesome plan, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
She's the looker after.
Yeah, she has an
Looker.
awesome name. They all have great names.
Chris Miller.
Rocket scientist. Yeah.
Air quotes.
Yes, air
at
quotes.
Launch Brigade.
Yes.
He's at Next Space. He's been building his business for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, and they're doing pretty well.
He's doing great.
Employing people in his office there. They have a great agency. They're thriving for sure.
Shane Perlman.
Yes. Shane Perlman. So Modern Tribe. He's always. I met with him a couple of weeks ago. He's always doing something different. He says every year I don't want to be stuck in what I'm doing, but I want to do something new every year. So now he's doing kind of dabbling in real estate. He still does his Modern Tribe, but I enjoy that. He's keeping his business fresh and new, and he's a great person to work with.
Great. Ryan Coonerty.
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
Who is that guy? He has something to do with, was he a mayor or assistant mayor?
Might have been, yeah.
Might have been.
And I think he's running for supervisor, too.
And he's a local lawyer, director of government relations and strategy, co-founder of Next Space. He and his comrade in arms...
Caleb?
No, he just wrote a book, Naked Economy, with Jeremy Neuner.
Yeah.
Ryan Coonerty, I'm sure, will give a great talk.
And that's what he's talking about. He's going to talk about the book and about the naked economy.
Excellent.
No nudity, though, really.
I know. It's such a tease, that title. Kendra Baker. Great story.
So glad to have her. I mean, she sat with the president's wife.
That's right. That's all we got to say. Yeah. But we also can add that she is the Penny Ice Creamery founder and creator.
And there's 2 other locations she has, too. I can't remember the names of both locations. But
the Picnic Basket.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
And then we got Kim Luke, who's our last speaker. She's a writer, performer, and the voice of Santa Cruz Derby Girls. This is such a wide variety of people coming from diverse disciplines and industries, and this is going to be really great. Again, folks, that's September 18th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Nickelodeon Theater. There are tickets. You need to go to eventsantacruz.com to get your ticket. The scheduled speakers, you wanted to just give us a little bit, like, why did you make another event, Event Santa Cruz, and why now?
Yeah. Well, basically, I like to put on a show. And I've been thinking about what motivates me, what's my passion. And I like to put on shows. I like to put on events, and I like to see how businesses, how they thrive. I like to see the genesis of a business, and then how it actually prospers and becomes a full-fledged business. So I'm putting those 2 together, and we have some great stories. I mean, I want to find out the people behind these businesses. So I thought it'd be fun to do, and it's a good story about Santa Cruz. I think sometimes we've got a bad rap recently, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's not just, we've done a lot of stuff in the past, Plantronics, other big Borland, a lot of great companies, but what about now? And I think there's a lot of good stories to tell. So we'll be doing them every month.
Tell us a little bit about the sponsors, Matthew Swinnerton of Event Santa Cruz, Techraising and Interrogation Hub.
Well, there's 2 different kinds of sponsors. One is a sponsor that was just helping me to get this off the ground. I mean, everybody offered to do so much. A Studio Holiday, great designers. They designed the website for us. So they put a lot of time into it. It looks beautiful. Schaefer Design made these postcards for us, so that was great. Santa Cruz Weekly, they've been a huge supporter. They're putting advertising space for us, and I just love them to death right now. Ride Made Productions, they're videotaping it. So that's a big part of this whole thing, is that we're going to have nice quality recordings of each one of our talks for the website. So Ride Made Productions is going to be doing that. Sentinel Printers made all our postcards and stuff like that. Thankful for that. But then we had our financial sponsors. Pat from My Peace Society, he's such a community builder, so we're very happy to have him. We have Jabico Enterprises, JBQ Audio, Computer Center of Santa Cruz Signs, Baskin and Grant. Caleb always helps out. Hoffman's, Adam from Hoffman's Eatery, they're a big supporter. Miller Maxfield, New Leaf Community Market, and again, our relationship with Grind Out Hunger. So it seemed like the community definitely came together to help make this event. It's definitely not just me, but it's like 20 people come together.
Wonderful, wonderful. How long do you think the show will go? I know this will be your first one, but what are you thinking for people? It starts at 7 o'clock.
Starts 7 o'clock. It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
It's a very fast-paced 2 hours. So we have, we didn't mention about we have a little small presentation, a video presentation that you're helping me out with. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
So, and then we have 3 speakers, and then we have intermission, so we get to talk together, and you get to talk to the speakers.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and spend some time together, like 15, 20 minutes. And then we'll have 4 other speakers, and then probably a couple surprises after that, and we'll let everybody go. So 2 hours, fast-paced.
Nice. Save the date, folks. September 18th at 7 o'clock at the Nickelodeon Theater. The inaugural Event Santa Cruz is happening, and I think it's going to be wonderful. Matthew Swinnerton, you've already got the next half a year mapped out, so we'll hopefully have you back on, and we can talk about how things are going. And this is really great, because up next for Artist on Art, I'll be speaking with Crystal Burns. I'm inviting Matthew Swinnerton to stay on and talk with us. Crystal Burns is also doing another similar type of event, and it's the Pecha Kucha event, and it's a night of presentations, but it's much more fast-paced. It's like
very fast.
Speed.
Was it 20 seconds, 20 slides?
20 seconds per slide. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you got 400 seconds that you get to present your idea. And also, I gotta make a shout out to TEDx Santa Cruz. All of this seems to be segueing into cultivating a strong Santa Cruz presenter community, because we're making some really great ideas here, and I think some of them the world needs.
Yeah, I love that you said that. It's presenting a good picture of Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
that's the point.
We have such a great place here.
Yep, for sure.
So Matthew Swinnerton, one last question before our time has come sadly to an end.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself an artist?
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time. I was thinking back to my parents. My parents, they are real artists. I mean, my dad's a brilliant oil painter. My parents are just really smart, well-read people. That art of drawing and painting that gene did not come to me. But I love to create things. I love creating businesses. I love that someone can like make a business card and buy a lawnmower, and now he's in business. I like that aspect, and I like doing events like these. I like, it's fun to like put on a show. So in that aspect, I feel like I've convinced myself, I guess, that God, that's my art.
I support you all the way.
Yeah.
Matthew Swinnerton, thank you so much for coming on to Artist on Art.